Hi, everyone. This is Greg Dixon here, part of your Writing for Fun adventure. I've got a website at readyforfun.online, and I'm going to talk about a few things here. You may have noticed, unless you've been living under a rock, if you're doing anything online, you've probably heard about lots of offers from some very high-end professional marketers, very well-established people who have been teaching and selling things for years and years. Will say that you need to have a book if you're, let's say, you're a coach or a consultant or some kind of expert. You need a book, and um, that all can be true. Uh, to build authority, build your connections. A book can be a fabulous excuse to get you on podcasts, get you speaking engagements, all that kind of thing. And I'm just going to say, you may have also seen similar kinds of things by some really high end people, um, that promoting a book. You need or a online course. You need an online course and blah, and this is how you do it. Here's our system. Um, One recently from two very top marketers on creating the book had a series of like a free challenge and presentation with million people registered. So hundreds of thousands of people, thousands of people are following these people and doing these things. And I'm just going to say this, going back to writing a book. Absolutely, a book can open doors. It can help with your authenticity. It can help with your authority. So the story says, well, why should I hire you to do X? Well, I wrote the book on it. Well, anyway, so the whole thing with the idea is, there are many people have offered book in a day things like workshops where you can write your book in a day. And um, and I think if you're an expert, if you've been doing something for a long time, you have a method, you've been teaching people how to do things, you have experience with clients. If you needed to write a book in your area of expertise, I think it's totally possible to write a draft in a day, in 24 hours, and certainly possible to do it in a week. And what I encourage people to do is outline, using outline lines, create an outline, and then after that, if you've got an outline with 9 sections and then 3 parts, and with each of those sections, then it's really a matter of just filling in the details. It's really not that hard if you're if that's your area of expertise and you're doing. If you want to write a compelling children's story or novel or something like that, that's a different story. But we're talking about basically business help, self help things in an area that you're familiar with. Um, it's not that hard. So the new trend here is to use AI in order to generate these things. I'm going to say that these AI tools are actually very good. And I saw a presentation yesterday, which was a few hours long, and basically you feed in all your blog posts and your website and other things you've written, and then it cranks out an outline for the book, and then cranks out content, and in maybe minutes rather than hours or days. And a lot of the stuff can be really credible. I've created some AI stuff. I've done used AI to do show notes and things, and some of the times it's absolutely brilliant. It's, oh, okay, yeah, I couldn't. That's better than anything I can come up with. And then other times it's just total nonsense, really. Yeah. So and that's the thing. So let's say you want to write a book, you want to publish a book on your niche, and you use AI to crank out all of the manuscript. So you've got the outline, you got the title, you've got all the content, and it all looks reasonable. But this is the challenge with publishing a book anyway, no matter how you got there. I'm going to give an example. I've been working with Betty Withrow, and works with writing clients, and sometimes she's worked with them for a year and to get a manuscript, and then goes through an editing process. And then where I've been involved is in the formatting and helping with the cover and getting it out there, which is enough work in itself. So here's the thing that came up with the workshop yesterday with somebody promoting a customized AI tool in order to write a book. So I'm just assuming that it does everything it says it can do. It cranks out a really good manuscript, good outline, all that stuff. So what happened is in the question and answer period, that's where some of the challenges became evident. Is the whole program that they're selling told you basically gave you the roadmap to create writing the book, publishing and marketing the thing, but it's at a high level. So it's sort of an abstract. It's sort of like a list of what you need to do. So some of the questions was, well, is the book formatted properly to load up to, say, Amazon? I think Amazon was the example used, or we also do Ingram Spark for other reasons, but Amazon is sort of the basis. And basically the answer was, well, the formatting's pretty good, but you probably want to either do the formatting or hire a formatter in order to format the book properly so that it'll be attractive when you upload it. So, okay, right there, just that thing, to go get a formatter to do it. I have reasonable rates, and but there's some books you can be you could easily spend $1,000 or more on good professional formatting with somebody who knows what they're doing, and especially if you're going to use illustrations and all that other things. So that could be a lot. And then the other thing is okay, the manuscript looks good. So I think it's beyond a lot of people even to actually read the manuscript and with an eye to editing. So I think what could happen is the manuscript that's created looks really good, but maybe it's not totally you. Maybe it doesn't reflect your values, your authenticity, what you would do. And so you would have to go and edit it through and then say, because sometimes what will happen is the way things will get presented is, and this happens even if you are dealing with a ghostwriter or anybody, is they misunderstand your point, and what they come out is actually maybe 100%, 180% different than what you really intended. So you're going to have to spend quite a bit of time and really proofreading and revising and editing this manuscript that was created. And if you don't do that step, you're at the risk of putting out something that really is going to come back and haunt you. So that's the other thing. Somebody asked about a book cover, and again, the answer was, well, our system can't create the book cover, and you probably there are some systems to generate book covers, and it may be worthwhile to get a professional book cover to design your book cover. So I've done lots of sort of fly by the seat of my pants book covers, because without anything, I can create something. But there are times when you maybe want to spend quite a bit of money and time with the book cover design, and that can be a process in itself. You get multiple proof copies and refining, and that could be thousands of dollars to get there. So you've got your book, it's formatted, it's ready to go, and you've got it uploaded. The numbers of books that get uploaded to Amazon is stunning. I think it's in, I meant to look it up before I started, but it's like, I think it maybe even the millions of new books launched. So what that means is getting it up to Amazon is not the end of the process. So you got to do a lot of work marketing to get attention to it. And really the work the work you said, like Betty Withrow and all. I almost said this is, oh, writing and publishing book is the easy part. Is what you do with it next is going to be time consuming and expensive. It can be expensive. So I think what my rant and advice is really the rant is that I think these things are oversold. It makes it sound really easy if all you do is, follow our blueprint, and you can't help but be successful. Two things. One is following the blueprint is a lot harder than it may look, and still that's not a guarantee to be successful. A really prominent writer basically one time said, here's my book proposal, it made me $1 million, and I'll teach you what I did. Well, the average person doesn't have 30 years experience and credibility in a field, so even if you did the exact same things that person did, you're not going to get the same kind of success. What I'm going to say here is in that program where there was 1 million people on there, a certain percentage, I would say maybe 1 or 2% of those people probably took the deal, did everything that was needed, and had massive success. Some of these things that you can actually generate hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of business related to a book or a course. And for some people, that's absolutely true. But for the majority of people, that's not going to happen. So the other thing about it is, and this is me personally, is the writing the book is the best part. Like I like the creative process. I like going through the steps. I think a really good coach or consultant or somebody with specialized interest, I think it's insightful to you to go through the process of creating an outline and presenting what it is that you're teaching people, because I think the whole process of doing that will clarify what you're doing for yourself and also make it stronger for your clients. So I think I would just simply do it. So I got a bit of an antidote. Years ago, I went to Calgary. I do a lot of video work, keynote presentations, custom video, business videos, and all that stuff. And a woman hired me to do a video in Calgary, and I drove there and I had coffee. By the time I got there, the reason for the video had evaporated. She paid me, basically made it worthwhile for me to go up and visit. I had cousins there. I was going to go visit anyway. But the interesting thing is she was working on a book called 50 Bad Dates. And I thought that was way more interesting than the original project she was talking about. But unfortunately, a book consultant had got a hold of her and wanted to charge her something like $15,000, basically, ghostwrite the book, market it, and all that sort of stuff. And for me, that sucks the life out of it. The fun is in writing the book itself. And I don't know where you fall in this thing. I'm going to say, if you just enjoy the process of writing, write it yourself. If you want a book that you're going to use as a lead magnet and open doors, you can do it. AI can certainly speed up the process, and you can have something out there. I'm just going to say that there's more to the story. There's a lot of work. It's just not automatically going to work for you. And again, likely you'll be better off writing the book yourself, going through the process. And at the end of the day, it's going to be authentic. So, the worst case scenario is you've used AI to generate a book on some kind of topic. It gets you into podcasts and interviews and things. And then who's actually read your book, maybe you haven't even read your book, but somebody's read your book and they ask you about something that's in the book that maybe that's that 180 degrees contrary to what you actually teach, and then you're kind of on the spot to sort of justify it. And so you say, well, I never really wrote that, or that was just, it got lost in translation somehow. So I really think with all this AI authenticity is going to matter even more than it has. And sure, yeah, use it to speed up the process, use it to help, but don't subcontract your life and your existence to AI. And anyway, go back to this. You write for fun. Go have some fun, and this especially if you're writing poetry, writing anything, memoir, family stories, any of those things. The fun is in the writing it and creating it. So that's the end of my my 2 cents worth today. And go off and enjoy your day. And in the comments here, I've invited anybody to comment. So if you want to say what your experience is, what your opinion is about using AI to write your book, any comments about anything I've said, let's have a discussion. So talk to you later.